in with Beyond the Deception with Craig Huey, where he calls out some of the most important stories the mainstream media underreported or misrepresented. So here for the news you probably didn't get to see yet is Craig Huey, author of The Christian Voter and The Great Deception. Craig, welcome back. Good to see you. So last week, Kamala Harris, former Trump Chief of Staff General John Kelly, both called Trump a fascist, and Hillary Clinton's linked Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden to the infamous Nazi rally in that same arena so many years ago. And the mainstream media has been echoing the same verbiage. Might this be a sign of desperation from the Democrat Party and the liberal media?
I think it is desperation, but you kind of have to understand, this is a political playbook they've used for years and years. They were calling Barry Goldwater, who was Jewish and fought in World War II against the Nazis, a Nazi. They did it with Ronald Reagan. They've done it over the time. They use these words like too extreme and radical and racist, and these are their buzzwords. And you have to remember this, Alicia. Most people today are getting their news from the radical left media or their biased media or social media like TikTok and Instagram. Huge numbers of people, especially those under 30, that's all they hear. So the problem is when they hear about Nazi and Hitler, think about this. They're worried about, what is that? It sounds horrible. I really don't know. They don't understand a Nazi. The party was called the National Socialist Workers' Party. They don't understand that they're socialists. Who's closer to being a socialist? It's one who has socialist policies.
Yeah.
And the same thing with hating of the Jews and what have you. The contrast is horrific. It's the wrong thing to do. It's morally wrong to be able to make that assertion, but that's their playbook.
So Charlie Kirk has an interesting theory on this. He says that their motivation is clear to him. He says by painting Trump as Hitler, maniacs might be motivated to do crazy stuff, like, another assassination attempt or commit micro actions of fraud on the ground before Election Day.
Of course. I mean, Trump himself said this could trigger somebody who's crazy because how good it is to stop a Hitler. I mean, a lot of people tried to back in the 30s. And here's the thing. They started off the Democrat campaign of joy. That was stage one. Stage two, moderation. I'm a moderate. Everything I'm going to do is kind of sounding as good as Trump or better. And then stage three, demonize. And now they're demonizing. They're taking their base, they're taking the low information voter, and they're making them mad. So that's their game plan, but it's morally wrong.
Yeah. Well, House Judiciary, switching gears a little bit here, a report concludes that the Biden-appointed chair of the Federal Trade Commission, Lina Khan, weaponized the agency against Elon Musk's Twitter.
Yes.
What's in that report that led the committee to believe the FTC harassed Twitter following Musk's acquisition of it?
Oh, boy. If you go back a year when Trump had bought Twitter, turned it into X, the radical media, the biased media went crazy in anger. And what we now learn is that behind the scenes, the FTC, with the Biden-appointed, Harris-appointed FTC chair, they tried to use the weapon of government to destroy that purchase and destroy Elon Musk. And poor Elon Musk, Alicia, he's got the SEC after him. He's got all these different agencies after him because they've weaponized government to go after him. And now we've got proof. And they're not reporting on it. You're not hearing it in any of the media about this documentation coming out showing how corrupt it was and how political it was.
Yeah, well, he is big, almost too big to fail, but he's all in with Trump. So he needs Trump to win. He needs Trump to win here.
He definitely does.
Craig Huey, thank you for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Alicia.
Of course.